Thank you, Robbie, that was lovely. Marie Joseph. Many of you have already seen the Tribe of One, so you know that Marie Joseph was married twice. First of all, to an Asian man named Arthur Lee, and that's why I have double heritage. And when if you've seen the film, you know what happened to that marriage. And then she married John Bandura, who, when you see the slideshow, all the pictures that you see of Marie will be with John Bandura. He was our dad because he raised all of us from when we were young. And he also was a great man to have taken on a ready-made family. But to get back to Mom, she was born in 1920 and at St. Mary's Hospital, but she lived on the reserve, which was then called Brownsville. Now, people argue that there was never a Brownsville Reserve, but after all my research, there was a Brownsville Reserve, and it was across the city of New Westminster, and it is now called Bridgeview. Well, Mom's parents passed away. Her mother was from Chilliwack, from the Squaw Reserve, and her name was Ida Charlie, and her father was George Joseph, and he was from New Westminster. And when her parents passed away young, she was sent to residential school, and she left behind an older brother and an older sister and a younger sister. It was very difficult for her. We believe she spent 9 years there, and I don't know for sure because when she told me her story, I didn't ask the right questions. She was so upset at telling me about her having to go to residential school, and she was crying, so I didn't think to ask her, did you speak our language? There were so many questions that I have now for her that I didn't have then because I was so upset that she was crying. And then for years at residential school, I'm assuming they took away her language, they took away her culture, and she felt ashamed of those things. So when she came out of residential school, she somehow got to Chilliwack, to her family in Chilliwack, and her older sister took her from Chilliwack. They hitchhiked into Vancouver, and my mom and my aunt shared an apartment together and began their life in the Chinatown area. She did her hair different, she did her makeup different, my aunt was a dressmaker and taught my mom how to sew, and they made fancy clothes, and they were actually quite known as the fancy women in Chinatown because they were so nicely dressed, always had the makeup on. As I was growing up, she would tell us things. She had sayings, and for her to have not grown up in a family style, it seemed that it was very important to her that she raised her children in a family setting. And she tried to teach us all good, bad, right, wrong. As the only daughter, I have 3 brothers, as the only daughter, there were lots of different sayings which I know I passed on to my girls, such as, that's not ladylike, and a million others, like the whites of your eyes will turn yellow if you lie to me. She was very proud of her family. She just wanted to own a home. She wanted to have a good relationship with her family. She wanted her children to all get along with each other. And she often said to treat your brothers and sisters like they were guests. So as you got older, that was how we were supposed to treat. If my brother came to visit, I had to treat him like a guest and be, you know, that's how she was. And her and Dad used to like to dance. And so every time Dad took her out, there was quite a nightlife in Vancouver way back in the 50s and 60s. He used to buy her a corsage. Every time they went out, he would come home with the corsage after work, and she would get dressed up and they would go dancing. And when I became a little bit older, I was privileged to be able to go with them to do those activities. And I guess some of you may remember the Cave Supper Club and Izzy's Supper Club and all those clubs downtown at the Ritz Hotel. And we had a wonderful, wonderful life because of my mom. The injustices that happen at residential school, somehow, even though they affected Mom, she did never let it affect us. It was always do the right thing. And Dad was the same way, wasn't he? He was, you have to go to work, you have to keep your job, you have to never be sick. If you're sick, you go to work anyways. And let's see, what else can I tell you about her? We all loved her to know. And in 1985, when she passed away, at the age of 65 only, it was heartbreaking, disastrous. It was tough. When I started on this journey to preserve her legacy, because of her inability to be proud that she was an Aboriginal woman, I talked to Dad and he said, make her proud of herself now. And I'm hoping that all the things that I've been doing have made her proud. Because you can't help who you are. If you're born Swedish, Norwegian, Italian, whatever, you should be proud of who you are. And I just felt so sad that she wasn't proud of who she was. She was a very private woman. She probably would say, oh my God, what are you doing tonight? And when we show the slideshow, she'll probably go, oh no. But I really thank you for allowing me to honor her tonight. I'd like to tell you my husband Brian helped me put the slideshow together and go through boxes of pictures. And he has helped me on this journey. He has helped all of us. I have daughter Shelley, daughter Cheryl here, son-in-law Franklin, grandson Dakota, who just graduated. His lady friend Melina. My granddaughter Tristan over there, who rode with me in the High Festival Parade, and she's got that wave down pretty good. A lot of our family members couldn't make it tonight because of work or whatever, or the distance. They live, far away, or they're working late. But they all wished us a good night tonight. And I was really pleased to hear that Tony and Candace have arranged a bit of a surprise for us. You people are always surprising me and honoring me. I just can't thank you enough for that. And any questions? Yes, Ariane.
Well, I guess the first time you told me about it was a few years ago, and then we talked about doing this celebration. So I'm just really happy that you're here and we're doing it. And I guess I just wanted to know a little bit more about what's happening with getting land. And I know the school up here is being tight, but I was just wondering what's happening with that, and the community, is there more acceptance now than there was before? Or there's two questions, but anyway.
Well, I believe I've spoken before about how we filed a specific claim to the Department of Indian Affairs. They have 3 years to decide what to do about us, and it's been 2.5 years. So we should be hearing something soon. They have 3 years. If they can't make a decision, it goes to a tribunal, and then I don't know how long that process takes. But we're confident that something good will come of it, and we can finally become part of this community. The second part of your question is, yes, in the last 20 years, it seems the community has accepted. I have so many invitations to do openings for the city of New Westminster, for the school district, for the colleges, for the schools, and I'm always talking, so I believe that most of the community knows who we are. And I see there was an article in the newspaper, because there's always articles in the newspaper, and the Kakite School, oh my God, we're so excited about that because it's on the site of St. Mary's Hospital. I was so upset when they tore down St. Mary's Hospital because Mom was born there. But then they put the school there, and it's named after Kakite, so it's Mom's legacy. We're carrying on, and so I'm really happy about that.
That's great.